All right. Ride or die gun training. This is Joe Porter taking some time out of training just to talk to you about, life, survival, things that might help you on your journey. So particularly, I'm talking about murders of personal friends and family. I already spoke on my dad's murder, some of the details behind that, him being a good Samaritan. I'm going to talk about a few other murders that happened to close friends and family, lessons that I learned from it. That's the whole point about it. It's not one of those things fucking gloat or, make people feel bad. I mean, it's life lessons. What happened to them? How did they die? And lessons that I've learned from it that I'm sharing with you. And out of respect for friends and family and then their families, other than my dad, I'm not going to mention any names on this video. So there's a guy that, man, I pretty much family member, grew up with him my entire fucking life, my whole childhood and everything like that. To me, good guy, never robbed anybody, never really did anyone dirty. He was just hard fucking worker. Long story short, same thing with him, robbed, killed at gunpoint. The thing that I'm going to say about his murder that's different, and this goes into medical training, and this even hit home with me. This is when I started finally carrying an IFAK kit. And IFAK, for those that you don't know, it's an individual first aid kit. My friend was shot in the leg, and he was hitting the femoral artery when he was robbed. He got shot once. Basically, there's multiple different stories behind it because, he's dead, so he can't tell his side. But what from everyone I've talked to, they said that, basically, he met up with some friends or whatever, or acquaintance. Guy tried to rob him. And long story short, the guy shot him in his leg. And he bled out from an arterial hit, femoral artery. So I say this, for those of, he wasn't carrying either. For those of you that do carry, specifically, get a fucking IFAK kit. My friend, childhood friend, family, he would be alive today, very possibly, if he had a tourniquet or even like some type of bootleg tourniquet and cut off the blood loss in his femoral artery. He might have lived. So something as simple as, having a cat tourniquet and some gauze. A bunch of fucking gauze, cat tourniquet, and some medical tape. There's a lot of other things you can get on top of that. But if you just had those, you're doing better than most. And like I said, in his situation, a cat tourniquet or any type of tourniquet, you could have fucking tried to use a belt or something like that. Might have saved his life. Might have. Like I said, he can still die, but it might have saved his life. Unfortunately, he didn't have that. Unfortunately, wasn't medically trained or anything. And then the people that were around when he got shot also weren't medically trained. So a situation where, typical, waiting on 911 to respond. And, the reality is first responders are never fucking there when you need them. And I say this coming from a family full of cops, and they'll tell you the same thing. You call 911, typical response time, they say nationally is like 7 minutes or something like that. 7 minutes, you lose a lot of fucking blood if you've been shot or stabbed or something like that. So he bled out before paramedics got there and the fire department got there. Like I said, literally a cat tourniquet or any type of tourniquet might have saved his life. So get an IFAK kit. Take some type of tactical medical training course, like Stop the Bleed or something like that. And then just keep that shit with you. I have an IFAK in my trunk. I got an IFAK on my range bag. Beforehand, I didn't have any of this shit. I didn't even take medical training seriously. So I'm telling you, this humbled me and woke me the fuck up. Because I'm looking like, wow, man, got killed, bled out from a leg shot. So this wasn't even a center mass hit, literally bled out from a leg shot. And this was my fucking wake up call. Because I've been in robberies, people trying to stick me up and fights and stuff like that. And carrying a gun. The reality is, I'm carrying a gun. We live in a world where it's a two-way range. Out here, you're shooting at a target that's not shooting back. In real life, motherfuckers are shooting back at you. I've been shot at before, so it's not good and it's not fun. And the reality is, I might land hits, I might take hits. Luckily, the guys that shot at me just had no training and they just, thank God, God wanted me here. They missed. But reality is, I might take some hits. So it's good to have an IFAK kit on myself so that hopefully, if I'm still conscious, I can patch myself up and hopefully stop the bleed.